A minister described his vocation in the words of John the Baptizer, a voice in the desert crying out, "Prepare the way of the Lord." That is a description not only of the baptizer's vocation, or the minister's, but of the vocation of every Christian. We are all meant to be voices in the desert, calling upon the world to prepare the Lord's way. TV nature shows teach us that the desert is full of life, color, beauty, and documentary makers. But for people who lived in the cities and towns of the Middle East 2 millennia ago, the desert was home to scorpions, vultures, poisonous snakes, and demons, a place of loneliness, barrenness, and death. That's the sort of place where John felt called to proclaim the coming of the Lord. Why? Well, it doesn't take much thought or experience to admit that loneliness, barrenness, and death can be true, if partial, descriptions of the whole world. Especially when viewed without faith, the world looks like a desert. John was in a place that symbolized the world of those who heard him. We too are sent into the desert to do what John did. Our sandy wastes may be paved, and our vultures may carry cell phones, but where we live can be as much a desert as the area around the Jordan River. We are in the desert, and like John, we have a vocation here. We must issue a call to prepare the way of the Lord. But what is this way of the Lord? I think the English word way is an excellent starting point for reflecting upon what it is that we're called to do with our faith. Two of its many meanings will suffice. The first meaning, the one Isaiah used, is a road from one place to another. A way has a starting point and a goal toward which one heads. To prepare the way is to make sure the road is ready for travel. Ways are defined by where they go. Where are we headed? The object of our journey is the full, uninterrupted, unweakened, and unending experience of the love of God. We have to name it, so we call it heaven. Jesus called it the reign of God. So, preparation of the Lord's way, to which we call our fellow desert creatures, is preparation to experience the love of God. Since we learn best by doing, we invite, challenge, and offer opportunity to our fellows to love and be loved. That's where the way of the Lord moves into a second meaning of way, a style of doing or being. The style of those journeying toward the Lord is characterized by certain ways of dealing with fellow travelers: love of friends and foes alike, justice in the biblical sense of taking special care to look out for the weak, and peace, not the mere absence of conflict, but an environment in which all can live as children of God. Since every human being is in the desert, since every human being is on the journey to the Lord, preparing the way is a vocation for all men and women, Christian or not. This is the reason we, the Church, have something to say about the way the world runs. Society, politics, economics, religion, the arts, the sciences are all subject to encouragement or correction as they aid or hinder preparing the way of the Lord. That's a big responsibility. It's so frightening that perhaps our greatest sins are due to our fear of what calling the world to prepare the way of the Lord might cost. After all, John the Baptizer lost his head. Jesus was killed on a cross. What will the neighbors think? I need a lot more courage. Where can I find it? Courage comes from the conviction that I am not alone. We are a community of saints and sinners who call the world to journey toward the Lord, to live in the way of that journey. What is more, we journey with the risen Lord who called himself the Way. The place we really live our faith is not in a church. It is in the desert of our workplaces, our schools, our streets, our homes. There is no other place for the world to hear our call to prepare the way of the Lord, to join us on the way of and to the Lord.